All right, we're back finally. Happy New Year. I guess we can still say that because it is still January, and we missed all of you in December. We did have Collin on my show there a couple of weeks ago. That was good, but we're making up for it now. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for being here. As always, I'm your host, David Burrows, and boy, oh boy, I mean, Collin's great, but we can talk to him anytime. But look who we got here. Papa Bear, or Rick Bear Renders from Ross's Towing. Thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for inviting me there, David. Thanks for calling me in, Collin.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
very welcome.
Where are you? You got like bear crossing going on there? You got a lot of bear stuff going on.
Oh, bear stuff. Here. Got a lot
Hot
of
Wheels.
Wow.
I think you have a bigger Hot Wheels collection than I do.
Oh, wow.
I got about 400 trucks and about 80 bear stuff. And
Okay, I have to ask the question before we get to our viewers. We've got tons of questions coming in already. How were you given the name Bear or Papa Bear? How did that come in your life?
okay.
Is this a story we can tell?
Oh, yeah, it's a story you can tell. When I got my Volvo in 2005, one of David's really good friends, my beard was about 10, 15 inches longer than this, long hair. And I looked like Grizzly Adams from the old Grizzly Adams TV show.
Oh, yes. Oh, I remember it well.
So one of his buddies started calling me Grizzly Adams, and then it went down to Grizzly, and then Bear, and then Papa Bear came from my little ride that I had with Ronnie Tuca Betterly there 3 years ago.
Okay.
It's a ride that many will never forget. I'll never forget. My wife will never forget. 7 hours of time that was probably the best time I ever had. Being with this little boy, and even my kids, they saw the video, and then I've got the 13-minute video from them, from the camera crew. They gave it to me, and
Nice.
it's just a beautiful video. And then after, like, Ronnie was able to watch that show. He saw it 12 times. DIPG is a cancer that cannot be cured, and they don't think it ever will be cured. It attacks the base of your neck and spine, right at the top of the brain there, and there's nothing you can do about it. From the time he was told he had this DIPG to the time he passed away was just over 10 months. But the 7 hours I had with this young man, I'm a tow truck driver. I've seen everything, but I still cry about it all the time.
Yeah. That one hits home for sure, understandably.
Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe like the other part of this that I wanted to ask about the name Bear. So do you growl at all, or is that part of the name Bear?
Just don't get me upset.
Okay. So I want you as a friend.
I'm a kitty cat, man. I'm a kitty cat. I abhor violence, but if I'm put into a corner,
right. So you are a teddy bear then. Is that fair to say?
No.
We don't want to give anything away.
Here you go. This one. Complaint department.
Okay, there you go. Awesome. Well, let's go to our comments. There's lots of people out here who want to say hello.
Hi, Will.
Hi, William.
Tim, who's a regular fan of Heavy Rescue 401.
Dyson.
Yeah, and
Carrie,
Hey, Carrie.
how are you? That's my little young friend, Carrie Day.
okay. I never know if you guys know these folks, so absolutely let us know if you do.
Hi, Valerie.
Hello, Valerie.
Hi,
We love
Albert.
Collin. What's not to love, right?
Hello,
Hi,
Ashley.
Ashlyn. Hi, Kristen.
Morales. Hi.
And while we're going through
Carl.
these as well, folks, we're happy to know where you're watching from, because we know we get a lot around our area, and I'm sure around Bears area. But Carl, for example, is down Oshawa way, and some others are from Hamilton, Brantford. So, and let us know where you're watching from as well.
Hello,
And
Christine.
Ireland. I know there's a couple guys who watch from
Rachel.
Ireland and Australia.
Yeah,
Crazy to see where everyone's watching from.
yeah. Oh, hey, I like this. They include me once in a while in
Hi,
their
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. And there's Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, darling. How are you? If you guys ever need slow down, move over bracelets, Lisa has a company. She makes them.
Oh, okay.
Paracord Creations.
She makes what? Bracelets?
Yeah, just like this one.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Because I wear bracelets all the time too, so maybe I
That
need
was a
to get
little
one of those.
stained, but she makes awesome bracelets.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
expensive. She mails them right to your house.
Cool. Lisa, send me a message on Facebook. I want to get one of your bracelets.
There you go, Lisa. 2% sales to Poppy Bear.
Okay, well, obviously we've got a lot of people out here saying hello. I can't get to everybody, folks. We'll try to get through. We've got about an hour here we're going to spend with our master towers, if you will. And but here's one that this is kind of directed to Bear, but I think maybe Collin. And you don't have to give any commitment here. Bear, once COVID's over, can I do a ride along? Do you guys do that sort of thing?
We do, but I can't say yes. You do have to call Chris Ross or Brenda Ross. I'll take anybody anytime, but it has to go through the office. It's their insurance. But I'll take you anytime you want.
There you go. Awesome. Well, Bear, I want to kind of start with you, and we'll come around to Collin too. But you've been with Ross Towing now for what, like 30 years?
30 years, 4 months.
Yeah. And did you tow before Ross, or?
I worked at About Town Transportation, which is a taxi company, and they also had a school division and a limo service. Back then, bumpers were steel, and you could actually tow them. So they went and bought a small 440 home style wrecker, and I started to work, get trained by Ed Harris from WE Towing.
Okay.
And he taught me the basics on towing, and I worked with him part-time when I was not working at About Town, just learning the industry. My small 1-ton work was basically with him, and then when I got a job at Ross's, I started in a 1-ton and worked my way up to 3-ton flatbed. Then I got into the floats after I got my A license. I kept my bus license from About Town. I was a driving instructor at About Town for buses.
Oh, okay.
And train people how to drive, and I still do that here. Just so we can't basically train them anymore. They must go to a driving school, which we all know is bull. I should be able to train somebody, and then they should be able to go and get their license. These poor people having to spend $10,000 to get a license is nobody can afford that. Like a guy with a G license
right now, I would think.
A guy with a G license cannot afford 10 grand to go and get their A license, and they expect to earn that money back fast. Ain't gonna happen.
Why is it so expensive?
Because it's all privatized now.
Right.
You used to get it for about $4,500 to $5,000, but once the government demanded you had to go to school, they all upped their money. They should have put a cap on that when they did that.
I would imagine that, and this would be one example, but I would imagine in 30 years of driving, or more, over 30 years, you've seen a lot of changes in the towing industry.
Not just the towing industry.
No.
The regulations for truck drivers are just stupid. They are. Yep. Like the driving book is what, 65 pages? The air brake endorsement course, the book for that is 170 pages.
Wow.
Just for the air brakes.
Yeah. Do I need to know that much? I don't know.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
Like I could see doing the AB license or the AZ license for $5,000 maybe, but they don't give you time to do it. Like I don't know. Collin, you got your B or A before the schooling, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So actually, I was talking. So Ontario Truck Driving School is renting from us in our yard, and I was talking to one of the drivers. That actually doesn't change until March. That ruling, they said that it was supposed to change. So I got my license 5 years ago, my AZ license 5 years ago, this coming March, and they said it was going to be changing a couple months after I got my license. and then it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So apparently this March is when that regulation actually comes into effect, where they have to take the courses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got some questions here that kind of regarding what we're talking to. Zachary James is here. Says, I want to get my air brake license and get into medium duty one day for sure. How hard is the test?
The test for the A's or for the Z license isn't hard. You can go to any college now, well, most colleges, and get it done there. And 99% of them, you will pass. You don't have to take the test you just have to take the paperwork to the ministry to get the Z endorsement for your license.
Yeah, they do the course and the test. I know that Fanshawe College, where I went to school, they now offer driver's training for AZ licenses, and they do offer that sort of stuff. But yeah, they do the test and the training all as one.
Right. Now, what about, let's talk about insurance for a minute here. And I know this is another part of your towing industry as well. And boy, there's lots of different stories we can talk about that. We probably won't have to go there tonight. But one of the things I recall, I remember when I was younger, which was about 30 years ago, and I was considering getting just a truck driver's license, kind of what we're talking about. But I was discouraged because they wanted you to be a certain age because of driving insurance.
Yes.
But Collin, you say you got yours a few years ago. Was that a blockade for you in getting your license, or was that changed?
So they make exceptions for children of the owners, essentially. So yeah, it's one of those things. So we do have a couple guys who are younger who are working for us. One guy who is a year younger, he actually started when he was 23. And kind of 23 is where we're seeing the insurance cut off right now, for just the light duty trucks. For the AZ trucks, it's 25. That's the minimum they're saying. But because, again, I'm the owner's kid, I had a little bit of an exception. That was still 21. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things. Yeah, there are a lot of rulings in that, and the insurance is definitely not getting any easier. They are coming out with new regulations almost on a daily basis that we are required to follow. And on top of that, there's also a lot more age restrictions in terms of what people can drive and what people can't drive. And yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have to go back and retest every so often, or once you got it, you're in until you're 80?
Nope.
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years. Okay.
And now even the D licenses need the retest. That used to be they didn't have to go and retest, right?
Right.
Now they do.
And do you think that's a good idea?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But what I think should happen is the schooling for an AZ. I think there should be like a graduated driver's license, just like when you're getting your car, G1, G2, and then G. There should be a section where you have to drive 5-ton for 1 year.
Yeah.
Learn your weights in a 5-ton, whether it be single axle or tandem axle, and then you can apply to go get your AZ.
Yeah. There's a really a lot. I mean, we watch you guys on television, and of course we see the glorified side. We see the danger side too, but when we get into movies and stuff, we see getting in the truck and the police are chasing some guy and he runs into this big truck and he starts driving away, and it's like, come on, like I have sat in preferred towing trucks when nobody was around. We were recording something for the fundraiser last year, and I was sitting in that truck and I was just like, I wouldn't know where to start. Never mind the key. It's where is it? But it's big and it's intimidating to sit in that chair. How do you, it's a special person to do this?
You have to know a truck, and especially you have to know how to use a clutch.
Yeah.
Right. Mind you, if you got an automatic truck like some other people we know, you just jump in, turn the key, push in the yellow button, and go.
That's the one I need.
Right.
Yeah. But even growing up around them, I'll be honest, I was very nervous hopping into the heavy wreckers and the tractors and the floats for the first year. I was, you know, I wanted to learn how to do things the proper way, and a lot of that was spent driving around our
Yeah.
compound and backing into as tight of a spot as I could find in our yard. And believe it or not, we have a big yard, but there's a lot of tight spots in that yard. So
Yes.
And
Yes.
just like when I was training 1-ton drivers, we'd go and get a couple wrecks.
Yep.
Put their personal vehicle on the tow truck
Oh,
and park that between those 2 wrecks.
there you
without
go.
hitting your car.
I like that one.
Boy, oh boy.
They learn real quick.
Well, there you go. When you own it, right? I guess you're kind of you're the captain of the ship, right? Or you're the captain of the Enterprise or whatever. You got to know what your equipment is capable, or rather not capable of doing, and know the limits, right? Because you've got to push those limits sometimes, don't you?
Every truck that you drive, go around it, check the surroundings, look in all the cupboards before you even move it down the road.
Yeah.
Like, you have to check these things out. Yes, I'm the captain of my truck, but there's 11 heavies in our company. Every truck, every driver has their cupboards different than mine.
Yeah.
So if
Yep.
my truck breaks down and I have to use their truck, it's going to take me an extra 20 minutes to hook up looking for parts.
Yeah. You better know where your stuff is.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back into. Sorry. Go ahead.
Questions.
Yeah. Let's go back into the comments here. We'll start. We got a lot here. It must be because Bear's here. Kristen wants to know: do you guys film all year round, or is it just wintertime?
Go ahead, Colin.
So it's just the winter for the majority of it. Sometimes they do come around in the summer for special projects and stuff like that, but the majority of the filming, like all the wrecks and whatnot, that's all winter.
Yeah. Okay.
But the day that they left last year, we had a 3 tractor trailer wreck, and we tried to call them to get back, and they said, "Oh my God, no! Turn around!" But no, and it was a 19-hour wreck.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was but you never know. Colin knows, we have not had a good season this year.
Yeah,
right?
Been different.
And and they're calling for major snow in 2 weeks.
Well,
they've been calling for that for a month.
But we've seen that show up just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Mother Nature says, "You know what? I think it's time," and boom, right? And it changes so much, especially between here and London, right? You know, we got that snow belt at Strathroy. I remember where I used to drive taxi years ago too. It was like driving around summer day here in Sarnia, and then take a guy to London, and you got to Strathroy, and it was like, what? There's all this snow, right?
The whole thing is right now, if you look at the Great Lakes, not one of them has got any ice on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to get hit, and we're going to get hit hard.
Yep.
And it's going to put us down for like 5 or 6 days. And nobody's got prepared for it.
We're not looking forward to another snowmageddon, right? You know,
that's coming. It is coming.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first, folks. Papa Bear said so. Let's go to Brian Clemow. I think he says, "I can't believe how impressive you are at what you do. Here in the UK, hello to the UK, we have nothing like you guys. Get over there, and I can take my hat off to you all for what you guys do."
Thanks.
That's awesome.
I've got a lot of friends on the English and the Irish tow pages. They've invited me in there, and they're awesome guys. They've got some weird equipment. One day I would like to try.
And they've got different laws over there too for towing, don't they?
Exactly. Yeah, they do. And so I'm going to say 75 to 80% of their recovery work is done by a crane.
Yep.
Like the towing companies own cranes.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's completely different over in Europe, and I was fortunate enough to go for a tour at one of my friend's companies over in Holland, and that is something that is completely different. Oh yeah, I see that, Bear.
I'm Dutch too, and I was over there in '70. That's the only time I was over there.
My
That's
wife's Dutch, so I get it.
It's okay. If you ain't Dutch, you ain't much.
Right, right. I got that T-shirt somewhere around here too. Deborah says, "Hello, Bear and Colin, my two favorites. Watching from Florida. Hello, Florida."
Hello,
Hi,
Deborah.
Deborah.
And Bonnie's, my grandson loves watching all you guys. He lives in Sarnia.
Hi, Bonnie.
And what do we got here? Tracy, I would like to say thank you guys for sending stuff to my grandson, Jesse, in Ottawa, Ontario. He has cancer. Colin, is you familiar with that?
Yes, hi Tracy. Yeah, we spoke on the phone a couple days ago. We did a little Facebook Messenger chat with him, and that
Nice.
was pretty cool. So it's
And
glad to
I'm
be able to
waiting
do that.
for when Jesse gets a little better. We're going to FaceTime as well.
Nice.
He's looking forward to it.
Bear, I want to ask you this. I've asked Colin this. We've talked about it before, so I know his answer. But do you realize, being a part of Heavy Rescue 401, the impact that you're having on people, not just the towing industry, but on people in general? Did you think it would be this impactful?
Well, David said to me, we're working on season 5 now, but 8 years ago, David said, "I'm going to make you a star." I said, "No, you're not." He says, "Yeah, we're going to start taping the show." I says, "No, you're not." So after the first season, the wife and I are going through Costco, and this is after they came out with these posters and stuff, and my wife looks at me and says, "Hey, you got somebody following you?" And I turn around and there's this about a 9 or 10-year-old boy following me. He's got a baseball hat on, and I didn't know what he was doing. And then I turn around again, and he hits his dad in the arms. Says, Dad, that's him. That's Papa Bear from TV. So I turn around and I said, "Do you want me to shake your hand, bud?" He stuck a little tiny hand, and I shook his hand. He said, "Can you please sign my hat?" So I signed his brand new baseball cap. And I said, "If you're out of here in 10 minutes, you can come out to my truck. It's a blue Dodge Ram, and I've got some posters back there. I'll give you one of those." I didn't see the wife, and he had a set of twin sisters that was with the wife. So all of them came out at the same time, and my wife looks at me and says, "Well, you better sign 3 of them." I said, "No, I better sign 5 of them." So Colin's seen it. Like, you walk through malls, and the thing is I care about the recognition, but I don't. Like I said, as long as one person watches that show, just one, sees Colin or I on the highway, or any other tow truck operator, tire guy, service tech, road worker, sees those lights going off and move over, slow down, and most of it's just slow down, or what you got on the screen there, slow down and move over, should be a worldwide law.
Yeah, I agree.
Worldwide.
I agree. And
last year, just in the U.S., they hit 60 drivers, killed 60 drivers.
That's 60 too many.
400, over 400 hit. And we've all seen the videos of that guy in the tow load loading up a car where the ramp comes out. He's right there, and there's an officer behind him. And this lady lost it. And he just saw it. The cop hit the mic, says, "Look out." He backed up, and the car went up the ramp, hit the car on the deck. They both flipped over. He half an inch.
Yeah.
Right? Half an inch. It's just these driving schools. That's where I think it's not. They've got to put that in their rule.
Yeah.
Teach these people that. Slow down and move over.
Yeah.
And all you tow truck drivers out there, especially you in Toronto, turn your lights off when you're going down the road. People are getting too used to the yellow lights.
Yeah.
Snowplows, pickup trucks with the yellow and blue strobe lights. When you're going between jobs, shut the lights off.
Yeah. Yeah, I never. I'm glad you brought that up, because I've seen that, and I probably, learning from Gary years ago, and he would tell me things about the lights, and I never really thought about it. But even now, here in the city, I see sometimes trucks with yellow lights on, and I'm like, why are you like you're a pickup truck, and my van's just as big as your pickup truck. Why do you need to be standing up? You're not a cop, you're not an ambulance, you're a city truck. I get it when you're on the side of the road. You put your pylons out there and all that other stuff, or flares, or whatever you do these days.
Colin knows, and probably Gary as well. They probably do it just like if I have a loaded tractor trailer on my tow truck, yes, my upper beacons are on just for the over length.
Yeah.
Right. But if I've got a tractor on or just a trailer on, my lights are not revolving.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got workable tow lights on the back, turn signals, brake lights. That's all I need.
Yep.
They don't need to be on the truck.
I remember Gary telling me years ago, he said, David, if you're out on the highway doing, now the lights are different now. This was 30 years ago, but he would say, if you're out on the highway on the side of the road, don't have your flashing yellows on. Put your four-ways on, because the top lights would flash red and people would think it was a cop.
Yep.
So they would slow down. But if they saw the yellow flashing light, they'd be like, oh, it's just a tow truck. And he's right.
The manufacturer of these tow trucks, they're into selling lights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our company is not into putting 1,000 strobe lights on our truck. Mine's on the roof of my truck, and that's it. No side lights, right? Just on the roof. When I'm in front of a tractor trailer, you cannot see them anyways.
Right.
Yep.
So I went out personally, and I have a red strobe light and a blue strobe light. I'll walk back to the casualty, put it on the back bumper, turn them on.
Yep.
And of course, I'm not driving down the road, so it just looks like a cop on the side of the road.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
They move over.
Awesome.
Then I pick them up before I leave.
Yep.
Right. If I was driving down the road with them on, that's illegal.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. Let's go back. Boy, we've got, I'm not going to be able to keep, we're going to do a 3-hour show tonight, folks.
I'll stay as long as I don't get a call.
Are you on call tonight?
I'm on call tonight.
Okay. All right. Fingers crossed.
Hello, Jack.
Jack says,
Hey, Jack.
hi, Dave, Colin, and welcome, Rick the Bear. Colin, how's your father's hand?
So I've been getting a lot of this question. So the thing is, everything was filmed last year. So everything you're seeing was last year. His hand is healed up now, but he doesn't have full use. He has about 85% of usage out of his hand right now. And unfortunately, that's as best as it's going to get. But he's got good spirits about it. And you know what? He works every day on it, on improving it. He wants to prove the doctors wrong. He wants to get it back up to 100%. I believe he may just do that because he is that stubborn. That's another trait of being Dutch.
Wooden head.
Won't argue with you. Okay, I lost my place here, but I had one. Okay, here we go. Do you think we'll see the Euro-style cab-over trucks become popular here, and do you have the equipment capabilities to tow these trucks?
Melody, I'd love to see those cab overs. There is a guy in Toronto that brings over man trucks and Dancy and Mercedes. You can order them brand new from him. He will have them shipped to Canada. Every truck is towable.
Yep.
You just have to lift it up high enough to get to the axle.
Got to know how.
But the towing in Europe, the manufacturers, they've all got adapters for the front end.
Yep.
That you can put straight in the front end, big pipe across. You can put your forks on it, pick up and go. You don't have to go to the axle. Perfect invention.
Yep.
American trucks and Canadian trucks manufacturers should go over there and learn what they did. Because some of these new Freightliners, and Colin knows these new Freightliner bumpers, they're 1.3 inches off the ground. They are literally snowplows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
They're so low to the ground like they are pushing snow. Mind you, they hit a clump of ice, it breaks off, but
it's gone.
That's the manufacturer. They sell it for aerodynamics.
Okay.
Right. Make the front end pointy.
Like a train.
Yeah.
Cow catcher, they call him, right? Scott wants to know how much of a pain is it to get paid after a recovery? This is something we don't ever see on heavy rescue. We see the action, we see the danger, we see all the other stuff, but we never see you writing a bill out for anybody.
Collin's an owner. Go for it, buddy.
This is a bit of a touchy subject because a lot of the insurance companies, it depends on the insurance company, but a lot of the insurance companies, because of what's been going on up in the Toronto area, and a lot of not so professional bills being written, and I know that a lot of people have seen a lot of posts lately about that. And I'm staying. We're going to stay clear of that stuff just because there's a lot of stuff behind that
Fair enough.
we don't want to get into. But yeah, you know what? It just depends on the insurance company or the company. A lot of companies, they know the good companies out there, and they pay us without hesitation. It's those other companies out there that are doing things the improper way. Those are the guys who do have the hard time getting paid.
I would think, yeah, and I know what you're talking about. I do my diligence before every time we talk, and it's you would think it would just be as simple as I did the job. Here's what we did. Here's the bill. You pay it. I collect. On to the next one. Like, why isn't, like, I provide services, you pay me, we go. So it's too bad that it has to be that way, but I know there is a lot of frustration going on in the industry right now, and it's not just that topic, where there's a whole lot going on that we won't get into here. But these types of things, though, whatever they are, that we're avoiding talking about, is this has got to add frustration to you guys doing your job, though.
With me, I'm a driver, right?
Yeah.
I go do my job, bring the bill to the office, bring the wreck to the office.
You're done.
I'm done. I have seen the frustration in all the Rosses trying to get bills collected.
Yeah.
When you do get a really bad recovery that's extensive, 5, 6, 7 hours long, 3 wreckers, a cleanup crew, having to deal with the fuel spills, having to clean the dirt out, put new fresh dirt and grass in. Those are the extensive bills that the insurance companies say, why do we have to pay it? Well, your company that you're insuring had this wreck. Whether it be their fault or not, we did the cleanup.
Yeah.
This is our man hours. This is our labor. The fuel stuff, the oil dry, everything's detailed on the bill. Pay us. Come and get your truck out of our compound, please.
Yeah, please come and get it.
Yes.
All of those, he's had vehicles in his yard for years too.
Yeah.
Fighting over them.
All right.
Yep.
Well, maybe we'll have to do a special show on that one. Let's go. Boy. Question for either Bear or Collin. What is the different rules for Ontario tow truck weight and BC tow trucks? You guys?
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah.
Ontario tow trucks, we're allowed to have a lift axle in front of the tandem drives. Steerable. Our older trucks were up and down, but the new ones are all steerable. BC still will not recognize the steerable lift axle. I prefer a tandem steer with a steer lift than a tri-drive, because a tri-drive you can get into situations on wet roads, on slippery roads, where you're going to get pushed straight into a ditch. Whereas a front lift axle, which is not a drive, I can lift it up and drive on the tandems and have no problem whatsoever. The carrying, a tri-drive, you can carry the same as my truck, tandem with a lift. No difference. Just you got 3 axles instead of 2.
Okay. Collin, anything to add to that? Because just so you know, you lost me at tandem.
No, and you know what?
Yeah.
That end of things is all new to me, because this was actually brought up. I'm assuming this is because there's a big conversation going around because our old rotator just sold again, and I guess it's going out to BC. So a lot of people were asking questions about.
I was like, where does that come from? But okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, good answer.
That's kind of where that came up.
Just some more recognition here. My friend Matthew Corey and from Sarnia says hello. Keep up
Hi,
the
Matt.
great work. Stay
Hi,
safe,
Matt.
guys. Boy, these comments are going crazy. I need help.
Like I said, we can stay on as long as I don't get a call.
Yeah.
2-3 hours doesn't matter.
No, we're good. Hey, my wife's not even here. I don't have any work tonight, so it's like
Hi,
the
Ryan.
rest of my night consists of playing Among Us on PC. So, where are we here?
Hi, Ryan.
Proudly watching you guys from upstate New York in Albany. Thanks for sharing your
Hi,
story.
David.
Hello, David.
Hi, Colin, and hi, Santa Rick.
Hi, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
There's Tom in there.
Hi, Tom.
Thanks,
And
Tom.
Walter says you made my day so great.
Well, thank you, Walter.
Okay, I'm just going to be off just a little bit. I'll still hear you guys.
Okay, sounds
I'm
good.
doing my bad diligence.
We live in Chautauqua County. Am I saying that right? In Western New York. Love the show. That's great. All over the place.
It's amazing.
You need big signs for the top of your trucks. Well, I think she's probably talking about that just so people see. I don't know how would that even make a difference?
Well, the one thing about the European trucks, which I've seen and I think Colin has seen now, is their light bars are set at 13.6, but they're also air operated. They can shoot them to 16 feet high. So it's above the trailer. But when you put the truck in gear, it automatically comes back down to 13.6.
Oh, cool.
I think that should be on every tow truck. You should be able to make it higher than the vehicle you're hooking up to so people can see it.
Okay, gotcha.
But not only that, on the highways. Oh, sorry.
No, that's right.
I was just saying on the highways too over in Europe, a lot of the highways, they have the signboards up, every 500 meters or a kilometer, whatever it is. And they change them, say accident ahead in blah, blah, blah lane, please slow down, move over, and or this lane is closed, sort of deal.
Okay. RJ Summer says, thank you, Colin and staff of Preferred Towing for the new hoodie t-shirt and signed poster. They are great. Still waiting for the calendar. Should be here soon.
Hi, RJ.
I know, and the calendars are on their way. Actually, I was talking to your mom yesterday, actually. So she was giving me an update.
We got another load of them, I believe, actually, yesterday. Yeah, we got another load came in yesterday. And, so we'll have even more coming out here shortly.
Yeah, I can concur. Speaking with, here's the merchandise, Heavy Rescue 401 with Preferred Towing's branding all over it. And this is to support the Ohana Landing Youth Transitional Housing Facility that has been a project of the family at Preferred Towing for several years now. It's really come well to light. And we just want to give everybody the opportunity. If you want to purchase any of this, you go to preferredtowing.com. And profits from the merchandise all goes to Ohana Landing and support that as well. And we've seen in the past some talk on Heavy Rescue 401 about Ohana Landing, and I think we're probably, a little birdie told me we'll probably see some of that coming up in future episodes of Heavy Rescue 401 as well. And I always like to give a shout out to your mom for all her hard work on that. And I know it's a very personal journey for her and your dad. There's a picture of when they cut the ribbon of opening Ohana Landing, and of course your mom's jumping for joy, and rightfully so. But you see the look of your dad's face in that picture, and he's really just happy to see his wife happy, and so I think that's just awesome. And, I think a lot of your parents, so it's great to see what they've done in the community and what they're doing for the youth here as well. So shout out to that. Love Heavy Rescue. You guys are so inspiring, especially the ones that Preferred with their doing the Ohana Landing. Okay, I just grabbed that one randomly. I didn't set that up, but that worked out good.
Well, thank you, Michaela.
Absolutely. Slow down and move over. It's so dangerous for you guys to be out there while drivers are flying by. Have respect for those guys working on the side of the road.
Thank you, Preston.
We watched the show, Jennifer and I, as many thousands of people all over the planet are watching. And I like I like and I don't like. I like that they show the close calls for the simple fact that they're giving them an example of how horrible it is. I don't like seeing it because it's like, ugh. And we feel that sitting on our comfy couch while you guys are right there. Collin could probably speak to this again. I've asked him in the past, but Bear, how do you hold on to your emotion or your anger? Like I would want to throw rocks. I hate to say that, but that's got to be so frustrating. And Collin, I know we've even seen a bit of it on Heavy Rescue, kind of mumbling under your breath like he's, right? How do you deal with that?
I went to an OPP officer one day, actually a sergeant, and I says, what if we, as in Ross Towing, got blue paint guns? Preferred would get red paint guns. And if you see a car or a truck drive by with 10 or 20 blue or red dots on the side, you'd pull them over because they got too close.
Well,
they said no.
Well,
darn
them.
Collin's shot up his middle finger, and I've shot up my middle finger so many times. It should be a blurb everywhere, right?
Barry, you're awesome. I love your integrity and your honesty. I get it.
I want to make it to see my grandkids go to high school.
Right.
And being out there, every driver of any type of truck, whether it be in the towing industry, the tire industry, service trucks, working on the trucks on the side of the road, we've all been buzzed. All of us. One of our drivers has been hit 3 times and now retired from our place. 3 times in 4 years. Right. One, it was just devastating. He can barely walk because of his knee got shattered. Right. And nothing gets done to the people. Not a thing. Person stopped. Well, you're working on the side of the road. Things happen. The law's out there for a reason.
Yeah, it is now for sure.
And I don't know if Collin's been. I've actually gone to court once because I had 2 cruisers behind me, and there was nobody in the left-hand lane, and this guy buzzed me. The cop hit his siren, and I had to jump between my truck, and the second cop chased him down. The guy didn't think I was going to go to court, so I got paid to go to court. And as soon as I went in the front door, the guy stood up, walked to the crowd, and says, I'd like to plead guilty now. He didn't think I was going to show up.
He was taking a chance, right? Yeah. Barry, you talk a lot about family, and obviously family is important to you, and you've got that, understandably. We've got some pictures here of family. Talk about the family photo in a moment, but first, who's this little guy?
That is, like again, my heart there, Ronnie Tuca Betterly. That's the little boy I took for a drive, and 12 days after I took him for a drive, he did succumb to his cancer, DIPG. If you're listening, people, go to any DIPG website, donate money to this cancer. There is no cure right now, but hopefully someday there will be. The family photo there is all of us in Ontario, my family, my grandkids, my father, my 2 sisters, and her husband there. Just a summer get-together that my one son's in the military, and he was able to take time off, so we all got together, and with my other 2 grandkids and his girlfriend. Just family is it for us. We're tow truck operators. We want to come home to them.
Yeah, and they want you to come home. And how do they handle, like, they know, like Collin, we've talked before, your mom, your family, they, you have a special lady in your life, and they've got to learn how to handle this, right? Does your family handle it well, Barrett?
My family handles it really well. My wife, before I took the job at Ross Towing, I said to her, I'm going to go drive tow truck. And she says, go do what you want to do. As long as you're happy, I'll be happy. Awesome. We've been together 37 years now. And my kids, my grandkids, there's a lot of times where they're at baseball or they're doing sports. I can't get there. I'm working. But when I do get time off, I'm at their sports events. And my wife and I, all my kids from ages 12 to 19, we put into Army cadets.
Oh,
Where they learned respect and how to work. My wife was parents committee chairman for 7 years, and I was vice president for 5 years. And 3 times a year, we'd go out with the kids on a weekend, and we'd be the cooks, and I'd cook for 60, 70 kids and all the adults there, and 3 meals a day.
Nice.
Got to keep
Yeah,
the
family's
kids happy.
That's good. Colin, do you cook?
I do, yes. It was one of the skills I learned when I went away to school. Definitely, that is it's a different experience when you move away, go to school, and I know the first month was very hard. There was a lot of YouTube instructional videos and calling my parents and asking how to do certain things, and yeah, once you learn, it's a lot more fun. I actually do enjoy cooking when I get a chance to, and that's one thing when I'm off, or even when I'm on call and I can cook a quick meal or something like that. It's always nice because it just kind of takes your mind off things. You focus on what you're doing, and funny enough, I've been doing beer making, so that's kind of been my my hobby the last little bit.
How's that going?
So my first batch was all right, but it was a very easy thing to make. It came in a can. It was a powder. You boiled everything. You let it ferment for a couple of weeks, and that was that. My second batch was a lot more into it because every ingredient was separate, so you had to follow the schedule, and it was actually a 6-hour process for the actual cooking of the batch. And that one didn't turn out so good. So I've got another one right now fermenting, and that should be ready in another 2 weeks. So
2 weeks.
We'll
I'm gonna put that in my calendar here.
There you go.
If you need a taste tester, I'm around.
Let's get some more questions there, David.
Yeah, for sure. Is Colin married? Not yet.
Not yet, no.
Bear is awesome. I still remember the time he took a little kid for a ride along. If I remember, because I think we were talking about that. Yeah, boy, I'm just trying to. There we are. Oh, things are going crazy here. Damn.
You're gonna have to get Jason involved.
Yeah.
Get him
Right?
the questions.
I know. Family is everything for tow operators.
Yes,
Yeah, I think everybody.
Family is everything.
100%. Yeah, the field is very dangerous. No doubt about that. Barry, you're awesome.
Thank you, Mark. Just trying to read. It's so small on my phone.
It's not. It's the eyes. The field is very dangerous. I got myself a life insurance policy to protect my family. Well, that makes sense. DNO towing at St. Thomas need a camera too.
Yeah,
hey, Jamie.
He's one of our old drivers. Great operator. He left us to go work for DNO because it's in St. Thomas and that's where he lives. So saves him driving time every day. So respect there.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, here's a question, and we've tackled this before, but it's probably changed. We were in lockdown, we were out of lockdown, and we're back into it. Kevin wants to know how the towing companies changed their recovery and towing protocols during COVID-19. Colin, let's start with you on that.
The recovery end of things hasn't really changed a whole lot because the majority of recoveries, the customer isn't usually on scene when we're doing the recoveries. The towing aspect of things, we have a strict no customer policy. Unless it is something like they're broke down on the side of the highway and we need to get them to a safe location. So I usually take them to either a Tim Hortons or somewhere, that they can stay warm, stay safe until they can get another ride. But unfortunately, with everything going on, and especially even still people traveling through for work or whatever it be, they're coming in from different regions. And Sarnia-Lambton has been a very, I want to say, a quiet region for COVID. So, for us having to deal with people from outside the region, it's very important to us to make sure that we do our due diligence, so we don't bring this into our community.
100%.
with us, if we do have to take a customer with us, we're all masked up. We do hand them little rubber blue gloves before they enter our truck.
Right.
And when they exit our truck, the passenger side of the truck gets detailed by myself or whoever driver it is with the alcohol swabs. Trucks are cleaned daily. You got to protect us. You got to protect them. So
yeah, 100%.
But on the side of the highway, if you have an American driver who doesn't have another truck up in this area, we will get them to, like Collin said, we'll get them to a truck stop. Or if it's going to a dealer, the dealer will have to deal with him once we get him there.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, all protocols in place. It makes total sense. Mac wanted to say, I just wanted to add, thank you, Preferred, for grabbing my bike in March when I was in a bad accident by the Beehive gas station and then taking it to Wheatley while I was in hospital. Do you recall that, Collin?
I wasn't personally on that one, but I do remember that. Yeah, and we know Mac from around the community. He's a truck driver around here, and I'm glad that you're actually you're doing better now. It's scary. It is. I ride motorcycle too, and that is one of my biggest fears. Is and we go out to these accidents on a regular basis, and it's scary. It crosses my mind every time I ride, but it is. It's a passion of mine, and anyone else who rides understands that.
100%. And yeah, I can relate to that for sure. My wife and I were in a motorcycle accident back in July, for those who don't know, and she's walking around finally. But yeah, it's definitely there was that moment when I saw her down in front of me, and I was like, yeah. And yes, we still ride, but it's still yeah, slow down and move over and keep an eye out for motorcycles too.
Yes.
And even in the wintertime, I'm not the guy. Mine sadly was put away a few months ago. We had a little bit of a ceremony putting it away, but yeah, keep an eye out there.
Yeah, well, I see a bike pass by at the shop almost every week. The last couple of weeks, there's been a guy who's been out riding because it's been just kind of that mild temperature out the last few weeks. So yeah. They're still out there, guys.
They are, and people are looking for them even less because it's wintertime. I want to go over to some pictures here for you, Collin, that you shared.
Yeah.
Because you guys get, and I'm sure, Bear, we'll come to you on this too, but let's start with Collin. You guys get to tow some pretty cool vehicles sometimes.
Yes.
Start with what we're looking at here.
So this was a pretty cool call. We've been doing a lot of imports from actually over in Port Huron. A lot of people trying to get classic vehicles or just a bunch of different kind of vehicles from over in the States. I had picked those up. Long story short, the paperwork wasn't actually proper for them, so I had to take them to Preferred Towing Port Huron, which is not affiliated with us, but a really good company over in Port Huron, and let them store the vehicles for a couple of days. And Kyle ended up actually going over and picking them up on Tuesday, I believe, and bringing them back across. But that was a picture from when I was picking them up at the Wendy's across in Port Huron. That's our safe pickup location. That's where we do a lot of the pickups.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, those were some pretty cool trucks, some old 70s Fords. I really did enjoy those ones.
Nice. And what do we got here?
So that's a Chevy SSR. That one was going up to Peterborough. So I made a quick stop at Canadian Towing Equipment to check out another project. So you'll be seeing that coming up here shortly. But yeah, I made a stop there and decided to take a picture of it on our truck while I was there.
Nice, nice. And then, what is it? Is that a Lambo?
No, this is actually a 2021 Corvette. So from what I understand, this was the first one sold in Ontario. Yeah, I picked that up 6 days into January. So that was a pretty cool run. That one was up in Tilbury, and we brought that back. Customer requested it. Was on a roll-off truck. So we were happy to oblige.
Boy, the Corvettes ever changed their look.
Yes, they did.
That doesn't look like a Corvette to me. Right, Bear? I want the old 70s Corvette. That's what I want. I want the Stingray. That's what I'm looking for. Or maybe a 57 someday. Well, that's really cool. Nice. And yeah, you do get to tow some pretty cool looking vehicles, and you get some great stories, lots of stories to be told when you're out there on the road. Collin posts pictures of the cool cars. What he's not telling you is he steals them from me to go have a drive on the test track. What's that all about?
I wish it was that simple, man. I wish it was that simple. I have gotten to drive quite a few cool cars, though. I did. My favorite one was I got to drive an Aston Martin DB9 Vantage. It was I think one of 10 or something like that in Canada. It's a $350,000 car, and I towed it up to Toronto, but the dealership in Toronto was a very small yard, so they didn't allow you to bring the truck right into the yard. You had to actually park a block away. So luckily the car did still run, so I got to drive it a block down to their yard and drop it off. That was quite an experience. I've driven a Diablo. I've driven another old Aston Martin. Just a lot of cool cars over the years. I really do enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure. Taja McGregor says, hi from Park Hill. I would love a preferred hoodie. Go ahead, Colin. Tell her how we can get one to her.
So you can either go onto our Facebook page, or you can check out our website, preferredtowing.com there at the bottom. All of our merchandise is listed up there, and all the proceeds from that go towards Ohana Landings. So, any support that we get from these is awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Bear, do you have a quick story on one of your favorite cars you got to tow or drive, or because 30 years, man, you probably got more stories than Colin there.
A couple more. Driving wise, just our tow trucks. I really never got into driving anybody's vehicles. The best tow job I did, I had a custom Peterbilt with a 16-foot bunk. It was just, there was nothing wrong with it, but the guy wanted it towed into Michigan. And just a beautiful truck. It took me almost 2 hours to hook up to it, so I couldn't damage it, right? But inside, it was just like a house. Marble floors, shower, full bath. He had 2 fuel tanks, 200 gallons, and then 4 water tanks at 200 gallons each. And one of them was constantly heated off the engine. So we constantly have hot water for the shower. You wouldn't have to wait for it.
Oh, okay. Wow. Jeez.
And it was custom built in Guelph.
I wonder what that price tag was.
The guy said the bunk, I don't know what the truck was worth, but the bunk was $250,000.
That's more than my house.
Exactly. Wow. He did have a custom trailer painted the same.
That's awesome.
Because he wasn't a Canadian, he wasn't allowed to come into Canada. He didn't have a passport. He hired us to tow it over. Right. As soon as I went into Port Huron, I stopped in at the Welcome Center, put the drive shaft back in, torqued it down, and he was there, and he picked it up and drove all the way up to, I think he was going to Missouri.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Well, let's get back to some more comments here. Just there's one for me. Andrew says, hi. Hello, Andrew. And then he asked me, have you been to Hamilton? Well, not recently. Years ago. I'm not sure why. Hamilton's a nice place, though. Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. Here's Melody wants to know, how has training the new guy been? Is my big bro driving you nuts yet? Is that for Colin?
That's for me. He's been doing a great job, and you know what? He picks up on everything really quickly, And it kind of sucks right now. We really haven't had a whole lot of towing to be done, but the tractor and float work, he's a natural at that stuff, and the heavy recovery stuff. I'm sure that'll come to him pretty naturally as well. He's working very hard. And the nice thing is we have a bus out in the compound that he can go out and play with and hook onto that. And he's been doing a lot of that lately. So, he's been doing a great job with that stuff. It's
that
awesome
sounds like fun. When's he doing that?
Yeah.
And this is the most recent hire to Preferred Towing, right? After
Yep.
one of the drivers moving on. And I imagine, I think we talked about this before, that you had a ton of people applying, and probably some who were just like, I just want to be on Heavy Rescue 401, please hire me. Did you get that?
We've had a few of those, and it's funny, we get the messages saying, can you help me get my visa, and I want to be on the show. It's interesting. It's very interesting, but it's a lot of fun. Hopefully we do find some good employees out of that in the future. Right now we're not looking, so don't sorry anyone, we're not hiring right now. We'll put it that way, but in the future maybe. Thanks,
one,
Sean.
Yeah, so Jason says, used to be a Ross driver myself. Loved it when I was there. And yes, Ricky, if my wife would let me, I would consider coming back.
And Jason, we'd hire you back any given time. You love to
there you go.
Standards.
Kate wants to know, Colin, with the Dutch background, do you know how to speak Dutch? Sorry, Dutch that we
Klambietje.
Yeah, whatever. It's Dutch that we can speak here. Too late.
Unfortunately, I'm second generation Canadian, so my grandparents were the ones who came over from the Netherlands. And when they came over here, they worked very hard on learning English so that they could fit in. And they never really taught that to their kids. So my dad never passed that on to me. But I did get to hear it, and it is a very interesting language, and I have tried to learn a few things where I could when I was over there, and to speak it a little bit, so that when I visited some of my relatives, I could at least say hello and
right.
all of that good stuff. And it's an interesting language. I would love it. I'd love to learn how to speak it.
Yeah, I don't hear my my in-laws. I don't hear them ever speak Dutch. They come over here. They spoke English. That's just the way it was. Yeah. Right? Rodney says, "Hey, Colin, how's the new rotator?"
Hi, Rodney. You know what? It's a great truck. We've been enjoying using it. Every day, it's a new experience with that truck, and I'm happy to say that I've gotten pretty comfortable with that truck now. And I've been doing a lot of recoveries in the last couple of months with that truck. So you'll get to see some pretty cool stuff on the show.
Right on. Papa Bear, how's your bracelets holding up? Is this Nicole? Was this the lady we were talking about earlier?
This is one of them that's involved. They're all relatives. I've got probably 8 that I still have left. I do give them away to certain people.
Right.
Like kids that are less fortunate or sick. I do have some small ones for them. I still got this one on, honey. It's still right there. It's a little dirty, but you can only go through like 5 or 6 cleanings before you can't get the yellow back.
Right.
But I do have bracelets from different people that have had cancer from the States. This one's Bill Strong out of the States, STMO. Always have lots of these Farm Boy Strong, Ronnie Tuca, Betterly. I haven't taken it off since the day that I went with him.
Nice.
It does wear out, so I got lots of extras, but it's staying on my wrist for life. Right. Farm Boy Strong, Mr. Betterly.
And Nicole said we changed her. We'll give her a shout out here. No problem. We changed our page name to Mystical Designs and Knots. So make sure you check out our new change off the ground. Okay, cool. So those of you who are watching, go check out Mystical Designs and Knots. Thanks, Nicole, for that.
And she mails them all around the world. So, and she's not expensive.
I want a couple.
There you go.
And Hi, Paul. I'm doing well, thank you.
And boy, they're still. I can't keep up. They're just moving by so fast here. Okay, here's one. Caesar says, "Hey, Colin, if you get a chance, check out my YouTube channel, Towman127. Lots of videos on getting vehicles into neutral you can share with your workers." There you go.
Okay, yeah, for sure. No, that's always something that's nice to look at, because with the new vehicles now, there's so many different ways to get them in neutral, and it's not as simple as some vehicles where they've got a little spot in the either the dash or the column that has a little tab that you pop off, and you just stick a screwdriver or a pen down there to pop into neutral. Sometimes you actually got to work to get them into neutral. So, no,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Jennifer and I were talking last night about Heavy Rescue 401 and towing, and I said, yeah, I remember like, and this is 30 years ago again, when like you could just, I was telling a story about I had to get a lady who had locked her child in the car very quickly. And it was a hot August day. But anyway, I was like, cars have changed so much. Like even back then, they were just starting to put new, like certain cars you had to open the trunk and turn a switch off so that when you lifted it, it didn't bounce all over the place. And like it's not just a hookup and even on a 1-ton anymore. Like you really got to keep yourself constantly up to date and trained. Collin, that's something that you guys do regularly at Preferred Towing is how do you keep everybody up to date? It moves so fast.
You know what? That's the thing is, every year there's a new vehicle. So the one thing I do really enjoy doing is every year going down to Toronto to the International Auto Show there, and they've got these big pamphlets, and they've got every car that you can imagine, all the new vehicles coming out for the years. And it lists weights, it lists drivetrain options, so whether or not they come in all-wheel drive or front wheel / rear-wheel drive. So it's all stuff like that, and that is simple stuff. But a lot of people don't understand now. A lot of these newer cars are coming all-wheel drive, like the Ford Fusions are all-wheel drive, or at least that is an option you can get on them. Some Focuses are all-wheel drive. A lot of the new Kia Rios and stuff like that.
Do you carry a book?
No, it's one of those things we have to tell everyone, make sure that you go underneath of it, look to see if there's a drive shaft, go to the back axle. It may look like a front wheel drive, but you can't just hook onto these things and go, because a lot of them you can still pick them up off the front wheels with a wrecker and move them, and the rear wheels don't lock up. But it is still spinning that drive shaft, which in turn spins the transmission, and that's
$10,000 later.
Exactly. Right. So that gets costly real quick. So we don't need that.
Right. Bear, what about you? What do you do to keep yourself up to date on everything? Do you go back to school, or do they have that at how do you keep up?
I keep up off the internet. Every time I see a new model truck, I look it up, put the specs in my phone. Freightliner with their new trannies, Volvos Max. You cannot move these trucks 1 inch. You pull the drive shaft before you touch it. You don't do that, it's a $37,000 tranny, and you're paying for it.
Yeah.
And all these guys that are pulling one axle, no. All axles must be removed if you're going to the axle way.
Yeah.
Even the manufacturer in their manuals, you must remove drive shaft or all axles.
I like the drive shaft option. There's less bolts.
and you're still coming out with the axles that have the cones, and they're the worst.
Yeah. What, Bear, I wanted to ask you this too, and again, it's another question I've asked Collin before, but when you started being on Heavy Rescue 401 regularly, did it take you long to get used to the camera crew being around? Like,
the first week,
were they in their way? Or you in their way? Or
the first week that they were with us, we set some guidelines. They wanted to tell us what to do. We set guidelines with them, and if they didn't want to adhere to our guidelines, they could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And David said that to them, and they've done it the way we want it. They don't tell us to put our booms anywhere. They don't tell us to lower them and drag our truck backwards. If our truck drags backwards, you lift the boom and get some more weight on the stiff legs.
Right.
Having your truck move while you're doing a recovery is the worst thing that can happen. But it does happen. It happens a lot.
Yeah. Are they an extra pair of eyes for you?
I don't want them telling me anything.
Yeah.
I'll watch David, Michael, whoever I'm with, As long as we have eye contact, we're good.
Yeah.
I want them out of my way. If I see something that might happen, like if a cable ever let go and they're in the way of the cable, I'll move them 20, 30 feet over. Right?
Yeah.
The triple recovery we had with Collin and Preferred and the boys out of Toronto, when that hook mysteriously broke off the front of that Freightliner and hit my tow truck, the cameraman was about 12 inches behind me, and you saw him from the drone how he hit the ground, right? I didn't know he was there, right? Because I was on my way back once I heard the ping, because I knew it was coming towards us. These things, you don't want to be responsible for them getting hurt. They're covered under their insurance, but it's just the thought of something hitting them because something happened. So they're away from us when we're doing the recording.
Okay. Makes sense. Safety first. We're going to keep going if you guys are okay, because I can't keep up here. And there's a very special question out here coming in from Twitter, and I might get in trouble I might get in trouble if I didn't put it up here. Preferred Towing says, "Hey Rick, can you tell everyone about the ring you are wearing?"
This ring here isn't the ring I think he's talking about, but this ring here, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Colin, you saw me get that 2 years ago.
Yep.
I earned this ring from the Provincial Towing Association for Humanitarian of the Year.
Oh, wow.
For when I took Ronnie out for that drive. Okay, give me half a second here. I'll show you the ring that I had custom built. There's only one. I was given a pewter lapel pin of a tow truck. And over the years, I collected rotten gold from relatives and friends. And then I had this 1-ton tow truck made.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
I think that's the ring they're talking about.
Okay.
And it's 47.3 grams of gold, size 18. And it goes on the finger that this one's on. I switch them off once in a while.
Okay.
I had a police officer say to me one day, if we ever have anybody come to us with a tow truck embedded in their head, we know who it is.
We know where to go, whose door to knock on.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
It was made by a very good jeweler here in town. I own the mold. It's up on the shelf here. They say the mold is good for 6 rings. I'm going to have that one rebuilt, redone again soon. Barry, how long did it take for you to grow that beard?
Yeah, Matthew Smith.
Well, Matthew, guess what? 2 of my children have seen me without a beard. 2. And the oldest is 35. My daughter Cassie, who's our head dispatcher at Ross Towing, she came into the house one day. I came home from a long distance call and I was just destroyed. So I went in, had a shower, and I came out of the shower and I actually shaved the beard right off. Nothing. So I'm laying in bed. And Cassie comes into the bedroom and she starts screaming, "Mom, who's that guy in your bedroom? Jeez, Mom,
what are you doing?"
And but I only ever had the beard off twice.
All right.
We got married in 85. So since 85, it's only ever came off twice.
All right. Are you guys, either one of you, football fans?
Nope.
I don't watch sports on TV. I'll be honest.
Well, then you won't be able to answer this. Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? Sorry, Scott.
I don't even know who's playing right now, to be honest with you.
I know who's going to win. The ref.
The ref, right? They win every time.
Yeah.
Brad says, "Love your show. Watch it when I can. I'm a fellow tow operator." Right on.
Hello,
Thank you, Brad.
Wow.
Just can't keep up, eh?
Well, there's a lot of interesting questions out here, but I'll leave it to you guys to go back later. Have the opportunity to meet Collin's parent. Oh, here we go. Had the opportunity to meet Collin's parents. They're such down-to-earth people. They met me and took the time to show me the trucks. Yeah, they are very down-to-earth people. And Collin, that's you get a lot of people. I guess maybe not so much now, but people reach out and they want to stop by. And you guys make the time to, I know, do drive-by for birthdays if you can. If you can, understand, folks, that a business has to come first. But you get a lot of those requests, right?
Yeah, it's crazy how many phone calls, emails, Facebook messages we get on a regular basis. And that's the cool thing about being a part of the community that watches the show. It's not something that's aired exclusively everywhere else in the world like some shows are. This show is filmed here, it airs here, our local community gets to see it, and our local community gets to thrive from it as well. So it's pretty awesome that way.
Yeah. And Heavy Rescue 401 has started again. We've seen 2 episodes now. I have to go. Oh yeah, right. I have to go back and watch this past Tuesday. I have to admit, I was all set to go, and I was done. I was tired. I fell asleep.
Well, you'll fall asleep watching it too. So,
but Heavy Rescue 401 is on Discovery Channel every Tuesday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, and you'll be able to see Preferred Towing and Bear from Ross's Towing in there as well. Hi from Merritt, BC. Hello, Irene.
Hi, Irene.
How's it going, Irene? Just pick one.
Yeah. Okay. Has there been any more talk about this back with the reporting centers and police not responding to incidents? Do we want to go there?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think that one we'll leave alone for right now. We're still in the midst of that.
Leave those to the people in the offices.
Yeah.
Right. Wife loves a Preferred Towing sweater, Collin, and got to get another. There you go.
Well, thanks, Zach.
Okay. I got
you go
here. My wife just came in with a note. Wedding proposals, ladies. I'm married. I'm not getting divorced. No more emails to the Ross Towing family about is the Bear available. No, I'm not. Sorry.
Sorry, ladies. We understand, though. We understand. What about this? How about the new electric cars and trucks coming in?
Oh boy.
How does that affect you? Oh, I hear, oh boy. What's that all about?
We haven't got the electric truck here yet. Actually, no, we do. Coca-Cola, half their fleet, in-town fleet, is electric.
Okay.
We put them on a float because they're vans. We float every one of them. We do not tow them. They're off the ground. The protocols for towing these things is just unbelievable. The rules you have to do by towing an electric vehicle. The batteries are so dangerous if they explode, right? I know people aren't saying this stuff, but they are dangerous and they will explode. Car-wise, I'm a heavy tow truck driver. I don't care.
Collin?
Yeah, and that's the thing is you don't see a whole lot of the trucks quite yet, but the cars, they are fairly common. The Prius has been around for a long time now, and right in the manual it says make sure that all wheels are off the ground, and that's the thing. So if memory serves me correctly, when the original Prius came out, what could happen was if the back wheels were still on the ground, they actually had cables running to those back wheels to help charge the batteries. You could have a battery either overload or something like that and cause it to explode. And if you look up thermal runaway, that is a very, very scary thing because you literally cannot stop a thermal runaway with your traditional fire extinguishers. Once those lithium-ion batteries start to overheat and go into thermal runaway, it is just the craziest thing. They just keep it heating up and heating up and heating up. It's an internal reaction with lithium and oxygen or water, and they just keep heating up and burn into the next cell and burn into the next cell and keep going. And you can get some serious reactions that way. So we have been told by a lot of the guys over in Europe that if they ever get the cars, the electric cars, if they're in an accident, they actually bring out a special roll-off bin that is filled with water, and they submerge these vehicles for 3 days to keep them from exploding. So it's wild. It really is.
So no.
Exactly.
I got you there. Thomas wants to know, do you guys have family pets? Bear? You got any bears running around?
You ready? Chewy, Yoda.
Chewy and Yoda.
Lily's the big dog over in the corner. She's not doing nothing, but I got one beagle, a chihuahua, and a Pomeranian.
Wow. You're busy.
No,
and
my wife's busy.
Do they don't ride with you on heavy recoveries?
No, I don't take these. They'll go in my pickup truck. I will not take them in the tow truck, because if I'm out doing a recovery for 4 or 5 hours, what am I going to do? Run in, take it for a pee, and go back to the truck?
Right. I gotcha. Colin, what about you?
My parents have a little Yorkie. That's the family dog. I don't have any dogs here. I do have a gecko, a little crested gecko named Shia LaBeouf. Long story for that. My cousin actually named him. I got him off my cousin. So it's
he likes that TV show, eh?
Well, if you ever watch, if you're ever on YouTube, look up Real Cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Hilarious music video. And the long story is he ate his brother. My gecko ate his brother. So he was not compatible with the other geckos in the enclosure. So he got the name Shia LaBeouf from the music video Real Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, and now I take care of him.
There you go. Melody says, Colin, you should tell other companies about using toboggans in the snow. Every time I see someone crawling through the snow, I want to tell them there's a better way. What's that? I have no idea what that's about.
And the only reason he knows about it is because I taught his dad to use toboggans.
What are we talking about here?
In a tow truck, okay? They don't have a lot of space for normal carts to crawl underneath trucks.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The little toboggans with the 2-inch lip are good for gravel, salt, sand, mud, oil, gas, diesel. You can lay on them, slide across, come out, you're still clean.
Oh,
When Gary first started, he was laying on the gravel. I said, Gary, try this. So now all of his whole fleet has freaking toboggans.
Yeah. And we have many in stock. And for our American friends who think toboggan means this hat, a toboggan is a plastic sled that you go down a hill.
Right. Yeah. Florida's going, what?
Yeah.
Hey, well, I've had tow truck operators from Florida ask me to mail them toboggans.
Yep.
There you go. And speaking of our American friends, Platinum Towing there from New York says hello. What's up, boys?
Hello, Taylor.
Safe buys.
All the best, old boy from Northern Ireland.
Hi, Brian.
What's on, Brian Barry? Got a bunch of guys from Ireland on one of my pages. Rick Kill, how's it going, buddy? I hope you're feeling better, man.
And I think this is going back to the electric cars. A former driver, I would love the smart engineers who designed these cars to come and tow them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like the new drive shafts, the 22 mils.
And,
yeah.
Speaking of pets here, I'm not sure. I might be crossing the line here, Colin. I'm not sure. Colin should get himself and his girlfriend a pug.
Of course, she has to add that in every time.
Every time. I'm on your side, Brittany. I have the controls. Okay.
Okay.
This is a good. Barry says, hello, I'm an EMT former tow operator, certified for 15 years. Wondering how well is the slow down move over law enforced in your province, and have you seen improvement? Would you comment on that, Bear?
The law is out there. Like I said, I had two officers with me. The one chased the one guy down. Unless they're with you and they see it, they can't do a thing about it.
Yeah.
You can have cameras mounted all over your truck. Unless the officer witnesses it, you can't do a thing about it.
Mm.
They should take.
Wait a minute. Sorry, let's interrupt there. You're telling me that I got 20 cameras on my truck and I catch everything moving and what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then we go, and how does that not count? I don't understand that.
Police officer must see the infraction. What I don't get is school buses that have these cameras, that person that runs that stop sign gets charged immediately.
Right. So the laws are there, but they need to be improved or need to be enforced more. I don't know.
They need to let the cameras speak for us.
Okay.
If we submit a license plate, time, date on a car that's passing us that has room to move over, if he doesn't move over, that owner of that license plate should get charged.
Okay. So there's some more advocacy going on for that, I would think.
There are higher ups. Like I said, I'm just a driver.
Right.
Can't change laws.
I got you. No, but you have a voice, though, right? I mean, you're there.
Yeah.
I'm there, but I have made my complaints to officers, and the advocates of Provincial Towing Association, Ontario Recovery Group, they all speak for us drivers, right? But until I'm gonna, if I get killed on the highway, I guarantee something's gonna get done with the law.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope we don't have to go to that extreme.
You're right.
I got you. But I hear what you're saying. We wanted to push forward.
So how many trucks have I had?
Yeah. And which has been your favorite?
We're just going to go with my heavy end of it. I started in a 1970 Louisville, 750 homes. Then I went to a 76 twin stick Mac, our model, 750 homes. An 87 Freightliner. Back then it was called a 60-30 because they had a 30-ton winch and a 60-ton winch. No extendable boom, no tilt on my lift. So you always had to double pick everything.
Okay.
Then I got a 2005 Volvo, 35-ton. Great truck, awesome truck. It was actually the first Volvo tow truck in America. There was a lot of old auto cars out there, but this was a brand new, from the factory, built tow truck. I then got a 2012 Peterbilt, another 35-ton. Then I had a 2015 Peterbilt, 50-ton. And now I'm in a 2020 Western Star Vulcan 50-ton. Great products from Miller Equipment. I don't need I'm too old. You need the kids to operate the rotator. Like, you got to physically climb on the back of these trucks and do stuff that I love my 50-ton rotator. I'll do anything with it that I can. If I need a hand, then I'll call for a rotator.
All right. Fair enough. I have a Vulcan too, but mine's a motorcycle.
Is that a Vulcan or a Valkyrie?
No, it's a Vulcan. It's a Kawasaki Vulcan.
Okay.
Colin's actually towed it for me.
Yep. I brought it home.
That's right. He brought it home for me. They stored it for a couple of days. Question for both. What was your favorite tow from last year? Colin, back to you.
Ooh. Oh, geez. We had a lot of good jobs last year. You know what? It just, every job's so different. You can't really have a favorite.
Yeah,
I just
so much
enjoy.
uniqueness, right?
Yeah, and I really did get to do a lot of learning with our new rotator, and I think for me that was probably one of my favorite things. Is just any job I got to use that new rotator on and really put it to its limits. It really showed what a truck can do, and I think that that's going to show pretty well this coming year on the show.
All right.
So
Looking forward to that. Bear, what about you? Can you think of one?
Okay.
Or this one says, what's been your strangest job?
Oh God, where does the list start?
All the way from Scotland. Hello, Valerie from Scotland.
Hello, Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
My strangest job. I had to move a 75-foot sailboat this year on the back of my tow truck.
A 75-foot sailboat.
The guy's going to rebuild it. He bought it somewhere in the States. It got moved to a farm here in London, or just outside of London, and I had to tow it up north to Brucefield, to a boat repair company, and it was had escorts all the way up. It was a 1957, hasn't been in the water for 30 years, 16 feet wide, 62 feet long.
Wow.
And
That's pretty impressive.
It was a good. I was worried about getting it off of their property onto the First County Road. They removed 3 concrete pillars and 2 steel fences for me to get out before I got on scene.
Wow.
Well, they got it onto the property with a normal tractor, but they had some structural failure on the trailer, so a normal tractor couldn't tow it anymore. So that's why I had to use the tow truck.
Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting.
And the guy said, when I got it up there, he said, when I get the boat in the water, I'll get you and the wife to come up and I'll take you out for a day trip. So,
nice.
Cool.
Nice. I'm not sure what the thanks for the story, Bear. And thanks, Valerie, for the question all the way from Scotland. Michael Horan, do you know what a Home 750 is?
I do know what a Home 750 is. I've never gotten the chance to operate one, unfortunately.
What's a Home 750?
It is the equivalent of an old heavy wrecker. I don't know the equivalent of what it would be compared to today, but we did have an old 480 when I was around, Holmes 480. That was still kicking around. I used to call that the new truck when I went out for rides with my dad, because it had the new truck smell in it.
Right.
So the 750, when they're built by Ernest Holmes, it's equivalent, you could probably say, to a 50-ton now. It's a chain drive mechanism.
Yep.
With the steel sling off the back. But like, again, that's when trucks had steel bumpers.
Right. Things have changed.
You can chain things up and go down the road with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do that to a truck nowadays, you're destroying it.
Jack says Colin's best tow is his mud recovery. They're not going to let this one go.
Man, that one will live on forever. Season 1, episode 5. I will never forget.
Right. I had to go back and watch it. I didn't know it. Yeah, we're holding on to that one for you. Do you still have Andrew's new wings in your yard?
Are you talking about the plane that you saw there? I'm pretty sure he's talking about that plane that he saw. That went over, I think, a day or two after you were down. So unfortunately, it's over in the States going off to get refurbished.
Melody again says, from watching the most recent episode, having the cops shut down a recovery that is taking a long time, is that something that happens often? And do they always put hard time limits on you guys?
Us in our area, and Collin has it in their area, David and Gary, the cops will say, how long is it going to take? You can't know how long it's going to take. Things can happen.
Yeah.
The officers in our area, if we say 2 hours and we're 3 or 4 hours, they're there. They're there to help us.
Yeah.
The discussions in Toronto that are being done with, you got 2 hours to do the recovery or we're going to get somebody else. Who's going to pay that towing company for that 2 hours?
Right.
The OPP? No.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, I would say there's got to be limits, though. Is there a line that has to be drawn eventually and go, I'm looking at this tow operator here and he's not getting the job done? Like, but then like bringing
There-
somebody else in, like how does that work?
There are situations like that. I'm not going to name any companies' names, but
Yeah.
Gary's been called out to help. We've been called out to help. Any respectable towing company out there has been called out to help these new companies out to help their recovery. David had to go to Hamilton one day where they had 5 heavy wreckers on one recovery, and he was sent down there by the owner of the truck that was destroyed. He was called to go and help these guys. Instead of us bringing our wreckers down, they were bringing all these other guys down. And David and I forget who the other operator was, they went down to help him, and they refused to listen to David. And David just left. Nothing he can do if these guys aren't going to listen.
Right.
That's when the OPP or the police, even in London here, if something happens where a towing company isn't doing the right thing, they have yet to kick somebody off a job. Right? It's nothing that I can do. It's nothing that Collin can do. But the officers in this area and in Sarnia and Windsor and Chatham, they respect the operators that are there. The ones in Toronto, that's up to them. They can take it there. It's an issue that is going to get worse from what's been going on in the last 2 weeks.
Right.
And we're not allowed to talk about it.
Yep. Very good. Watching from Strath Vegas. Question for Bear: was the transport wreck over by 81 exit in Strathroy? We're going to see that on this season. Do you know?
The 18-wheel straight up, yes.
Okay.
It won't be on this season. It will be on next season. It was a good recovery. Like, it's rare to have 18 wheels straight upside down. And it was different. Part of the recovery got done at night, and then the storm got so bad we had to leave and then come back the next day. But that's like in an area, Strathroy, you can have snow blowing for 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then for the next 5 days, you got nothing.
I've lived in Sarnia all my life. I've experienced many different ways. Just going back. I get it. Guys, we're going to, I don't always want to, but I'm going to start wrapping up here because I just looked at the time. I can just sit here and go like this and just, you guys just go. Like, you don't really need me here.
We'll go. Let's go till let's go till 9 o'clock.
Okay. I'm good with that. Colin, you good with that?
Yeah,
What's he going to say?
Good.
No.
Colin can leave. I'm good.
All right. Hello from Danbury, Connecticut.
Hi, Mike.
When a second company comes in, do you split the pay? Well, you work it out, I guess.
Ahead, Colin.
Yeah, so I mean, typically you don't roll up onto a scene and then all of a sudden another company shows up and says, well, I'm going to give you a hand with this job. But I mean, there are jobs that companies from out of town get called to in our area, and then they call us to bring a truck or bring 2 trucks to assist. And in that case, we send them a bill for what our time is worth, and then go from there. Or
I was going to say, you'd send them a bill, and they put that on there. Somebody takes the lead, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense. Nice and simple. And Greg, I remember Greg. He shows up every time, all the way from Australia.
Yes.
How's it going, Greg?
It's got to be like, what's it like? Almost 20 to 9 in the morning the next day in Australia, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is. Last I heard, Greg was here in Sarnia actually. So, because he's got family here, his wife's family is from Sarnia. So last I heard, he was here in Sarnia. I don't know if you're still here, Greg, but it was nice seeing you when you were working at the Ontario Truck Driving School there, getting some training.
Right on. We've sort of answered this, but it's kind of different. Colin and Bear, what was your most personal towing experience? Bear, I think there's the obvious answer there that you talked about earlier. But which one hit home for you guys? Colin, we'll let you start with that one.
Yeah, it's there's so many. There are so many. Anytime we go out to a scene that we can relate to, and for me, I'm a car guy, so anytime I go out to a car wreck where you've got a guy it's his pride and joy, is wrecked. That one I feel that for those people. That always does hit close to home because I've got my cars that I enjoy, and I would hate
Mhm.
to see anything happen to. And then, again, anytime we go out to any of those fatalities or something like that, and I know they showed one on the show last week there, and that one was definitely a bit of a hard one. That one, I was called out for the rescue, and it's never easy going out to those.
Yeah.
One that I had, I was driving a 1-ton, and it was Christmas Eve. Lady had a flat tire. She had 2 kids in the car. I get out there, hook up the car. I'm going to get it off the highway before I change the tire. She's got no spare. So I phoned David, and what happened is abusive husband in Windsor. She just grabbed the kids, grabbed what she could, and took off. So I called David, and he said, go to the yard. We have a Camaro sitting there. Take the good tire off, put it on her car. And while talking to David, this lady said she's got to go to Toronto. She's got no money. So I said to David, I says, okay, I'll go in half. I'll take her to the Husky. I'll fill up her car, and we'll feed the kids supper. And I gave her $50 cash to make sure she got the rest of the way. And stuff like that, you don't hear, because I never gave her a bill or nothing. Merry Christmas, ma'am. Just get away from your ex or whatever.
Yeah.
And the following July, we got a letter back from her thanking for all the services we did. We got a check from her. We just tore the check up, right? We didn't need that money. Stuff like that people don't hear about. Every company doesn't. You can't tell me that we don't give away free tows.
100%.
Right?
100%.
We have. There are situations where the person says, well, you're in the ditch. I'm in a 1-ton. I get there, put the forks out, get the chain out. Oh, I know David Ross. Well, that's another $50. Oh, I know Michael Ross. There's another $50. I know the whole family. Well, that's another $100.
Right.
Keep on talking, buddy. Right.
Yeah.
And then I find out they don't know any of them. Right.
Right. Well, they know them. They saw them on television or something.
No,
Yeah.
this is when I was Colin's age. Come on.
Yeah. I hear you. A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's and thanks for sharing that story, because I think it's important that, I mean, there's business and then there's a time for just humanitarian things, right? And we just do the right things when it comes along. I'm really, really excited right now because someone's asking me a question. And I'm not even on Heavy Rescue 401, right? I had somebody actually ask me that a while ago. They're like, oh, how's it going with Heavy Rescue 401? Are you doing anything? I'm like, I am not. I'm associated to, anyway. Question, Billy D. Billy D, where are you from? I've seen your name in here a couple times, but question for David. Who is your favorite towing company, truthfully? I'm obviously very partial to Preferred Towing, so I'm very proud to know the Vandenheuvel family, and yes, I was one of their. Yes, I was one of their. I'm proud of the fact. There's no shame in saying I was one of their first full-time tow truck drivers 30 years ago, and I remember giving them a resume in their 1-bedroom apartment downstairs. I wrote it out in pen on brown-lined paper. And I remember your dad actually saying, he says, if I hadn't met you, actually, looking at the resume, I wouldn't have hired you. So honest people, right? And then they actually encouraged me to move forward, and we lost touch for 3 years, and then we were able to come back, and it's just been wonderful. So yes, I am very partial to the Preferred Towing family, and we have a great relationship. We have a lot of fun together too when we do get together.
Yeah.
Looking forward to being able to do that as well. So thanks for the question, Billy D. What was I going to do? Lie? I love bear.
Give me one here for a second.
Sure.
You know how we were talking about Paracord Creations and stuff. How she has a new webpage. Okay, everybody loves this little white beard. I take care of my beard with some good products. a little while ago, the wife and I invested in a company, and Lumberjack Creations.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Oh, beard oil and
beard oils, soap, shampoo, all the stuff you need
shampoo.
for your beard.
You got your manager in the background there telling you what to do.
She's sitting there. She's yelling out at me. It's a company that we got involved with that was going under. So we took it off the reins of the nice gentleman. And
All
my
right.
daughter is actually, my daughter and son-in-law run it. And it's a great product.
Just tell Mama Bear to sit down there.
Mama Bear. she left
like,
the room.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
So just look up Lumberjack Creations, and they're out of Ingersoll, Ontario. Products are real, and I even pay freaking full price. I do, just because eventually I'll get the money back.
Yeah.
Here's one I saw. He's asked a couple times, so we'll get up there. If you had the opportunity to tow or transport a jet engine powered semi truck, is there such a thing?
I have not.
Race trucks.
Yeah.
Right?
What trucks?
Race trucks that are quarter-mile trucks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I actually haven't been able to tow one, but I did tow a truck and trailer that had 2 race cars in it. A Jeff Gordon and a Jimmy Johnson car were in the vehicle.
Oh, that's cool.
They were actually race cars that did go on the track, but then after so many races, they get decommissioned, and it's a GM sponsored tour. They broke down in Sarnia. I had to tow them to London. But the guy had pretty cool setup, like the race car haulers. And inside it was a mom and pops organization that were doing the driving. And she said that there's 12 of these setups that go North America wide with old race cars and just go to the GM dealers, right?
Wow.
And they broke down in Sarnia, and I towed them here to London.
Cool. Now, Collin, we know you're a big fan of cars. You've got tell the people you've got a couple of fancy schmancy cars, don't you?
Yeah, I've got my Mustang Boss 02 that I enjoy playing around with in the summer, and I've got a Focus RS, and that one's a lot of fun too. I'm a bit partial to the Fords, so yeah, those are my 2 toys. I just grabbed a Ford Ranger out of the compound, actually, another Ford dad to the family.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's a question that I have, because I know I've seen the 2 cars, and you got a motorcycle, and now you're pulling something else out of the compound, and your dad's got is Chevelle?
Yep.
Right? The one that he had when he was a teenager.
Yep.
So this many cars, and I know where you live. What does Mom get?
Mom's got a nice little Fiat 124 Spider. She enjoys that, a little convertible Fiat, and it's a cool little car. That thing, actually, I've gotten to drive it a couple times, and it's based on the Miata platform, so it's a neat little sporty car, and it would surprise a lot of people, I think.
It's a very neat car. She enjoys driving it. I see her, and I know she gets, some of the guys are like, "Hey, look at that car!" Right?
I got one for Colin. When Gary first started having the heavies, he wanted to go on vacation once, so he asked David Ross if I'd come and work for him for a week, and so I agreed. David asked me, and I said, "Yeah, fine." So I go to Sarnia, and I got to go back and forth every night, right? So one of the drivers had an old Ford pickup truck he was lending me to get to and from. First night I get to London Road on the 402. The engine blows in this pickup truck. And at that time, nobody had cell phones. So I crossed the highway, stuck the thumb out, get back to Sarnia, called Gary from a Wendy's.
Yeah.
Him and Tammy show up. She's in, I think, a pickup truck, and he's in a Chevelle. So I'm thinking, I'll get the pickup truck and go home, right? No. Gary says, "Here's my Chevelle." Tammy still has never driven that car.
Oh, she's driven it.
Oh, okay. This is when Gary didn't let anybody touch that thing.
I think that was a part of sealing the deal there way back in the day too, because he had that car a long time.
He's had it since he was 14.
There you go. I love when your dad's not here because I can pick on him. He's not here to
Yeah.
defend himself, right?
He's
I know.
watching.
I
Yeah,
know
exactly. He's
I know
watching.
he is. He's going to get me back.
Okay,
He's been stacking them up of the things I've been picking on. What's that?
Let's get a couple more questions in before 9 o'clock gets here.
88 Ford Mustang convertible.
Very
That's Matt's toy. Where there was one about I forget where it went, but it was a question about it's really cold over here. I think it was our friend from Australia, Greg, was saying, do you guys wear heated vests or anything inside like that, or do you just bundle up and away you go?
I overdress, and I'm a large boy. If minus 25 here is still t-shirt weather for me, right? It's a dry cold. I'm good with that. When it gets moist out, I'll put a couple coats on.
Yeah.
But I'm just a t-shirt and a one coverall guy. Whereas I got guys at our place that have got 3 sweaters, a hoodie, a toque, a baseball hat, 2 coats, and it's, can you move?
Feel like that scene
Beard
from,
help keep you warm too?
it'll be like that scene from A Christmas Story. The
Yes.
kid comes waddling.
Right. Where to go? Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Have either of you towed a Tesla yet?
Nope.
No, that one.
Our drivers
I have not.
A couple of our drivers have, but they go on a tilt load.
Yeah.
We refuse to put them on dollies even because they're so heavy. They all go on a tilt load. Those electric vehicles are just, I know they're coming to stay, but the Tesla Transport, there's I think they said there's 50 of them on the road now. I just hate to see their when they plug in, how long it takes to charge all those batteries.
Right. Okay. Jason wants to know, Ricky, have you convinced David for your new Volvo Heavy yet?
Jason, buddy, you know I've been trying. I was hoping that this Western Star was going to be a Volvo, but you know the company policy, we deal with all the dealerships, so we rotate and I don't know if the next one's going to be a Mack or a Volvo. I'll take either. The new drivetrain in the Volvo, my left leg is getting sore, and I might have to go to the automatic. But
ooh,
yeah, the new Volvo automatics, you can actually rock them, where the old ones you can't. The main thing is you get stuck on ice. The old ones you can only go forward, and it rocks back. The new ones have a double clutch. You can actually rock these things to get momentum.
okay.
We've got a great Volvo tractor, and the guy just loves it, and that's what I'd love stretched out into a record.
Okay. Patricia says, saw that you have got those I think Halo lights is what.
Halo lights, yes.
For the hard hats. Do you use them a lot, Colin?
We have used them on quite a few recoveries, yeah, and they're really nice. It's funny, all the recoveries we've had them on, of course, the highway's either been shut down or we're on a back road or something like that. So we haven't had to use them as the flash effect yet. But man, they are nice when you're working in really dark areas like the back country roads down this way. And you can't see nothing because there's no street lights or anything like that. You put those things on, you got like 4 or 5 guys walking around with those things. Oh, it's like bright as day out there.
They are bright. I've seen them in action. They're bright for sure.
Colin did say he was going to give me 2 personally, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, you want some? Come on down. You got to make the trip down here.
Next time I drive by, buddy, I'll make sure I get there.
Zach says, Papa Bear, which truck do you prefer, the Star or your Pete?
I'll admit it to everybody. It's the interior size. Because of my size, the Pete is small. Towing wise, I'll admit it. The Western Star is a better truck. Same back end as my Pete. Same weight wise. My start is 47,800 full of fuel, and my Pete was 47,600. The Pete does a better job towing. Or sorry, the Western Star steers, and I admit it, steers better than the Pete.
Okay. And what's your favorite collectible tow truck there, Papa Bear?
My darling Rose Logue out of Toronto. I've got so many. A couple that she has actually found for me are sitting on the wall here. It's just, she's a vendor and she gets these trucks for me out of Toronto.
Okay.
And I'm going to take this phone and show you guys some of my stuff.
All right. We get the museum tour.
Okay, there's the upper shelves.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
You got.
I'm gonna put this in full screen so everybody can get a better view. There we go.
That's awesome. Wow. I have a couple of those.
All right on. Oh wow, look at all that. You're gonna need a bigger room soon.
Yeah.
But I'll show you the two that were custom made for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that is cool. Wow.
It's a rotator.
That's detailed too.
Oh yeah. And here's the one the company had made for my 30th.
Look at that.
Is that ever slick?
And it's made to spec. It's got the bear on the hood.
Oh wow, look at that. That's cool.
They found a guy in Cambridge that actually made it for us. Made it for Brenda Ross, and it's just awesome. There's stuff up here. None of it's expensive, like yard sale. Most of it's yard sale stuff.
Yeah, but it's valuable to you.
It is. Like I've got some stuff sent to me from Newfoundland. I just got a couple cars sent to me from England. It's just different. The appreciation of people that watch the show, right? And then once they see that I collect this stuff, it just shows up in the mail. Like I never asked for things. And what can I say? I'm a bear collector slash tow truck driver collector.
Right on. Well, I was afraid this might happen if we went too long. Thanks for the show, guys. Appreciate it. But they got a UFC McGregor fight to watch. So okay. I get that. I'm glad we did it earlier.
Thanks for the invite.
Hey, Papa Bear, nice to virtually meet you. And we look forward to seeing you again on Heavy Rescue. And hopefully someday you and I can shake hands in person and have a good chat.
If you live near Sarnia, we'll definitely meet someday.
I'm in Sarnia.
I'll give Collin a call and get you to come over to Preferred's yard.
I'm a minute and a half away from them. I know how to get there. Awesome. That'd be great. Thanks so much.
Nice talking to you, Collin.
Nice talking to you too, Bear.
Right on. Collin, thanks so much. And just before we go, I'd like to give Collin any final thoughts, and then Bear, I'll come back to you.
No, it's just it's nice to be back, everyone. Thanks again for watching. And we strung this out for 2 hours, so obviously everyone was excited to see us again. So that's awesome. I love hearing from everyone and being able to communicate with everyone. And, as always, remember, slow down, move over. It is the law. And again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Dave, for helping us out with this.
Yeah, I have a great time.
Thank you, Bear.
No problem. Bear. Thank you.
Final words, Bear?
Slow down and move over. It is the law.
Yeah.
And thank you to all the fans that watch our shows. We're just operators doing our job. We're glad to see that some people take care and move over for us. The people that don't, someday a 3/4-inch wrench might go flying and it might hit a vehicle, or you never know. But I never said that.
Being said, I hear you 100%. Thanks, Bear. Go down and move over. It's law, everybody. And don't forget, Heavy Rescue 401 continues on Discovery Channel Canada on 10 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday evenings. We'll look forward to the next time we can get together. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your comment or questions. There's so many out there. We will be back again with Collin next month. As soon as we have the date for that, we'll put it out there. In the meantime, follow along Heavy Rescue 401. Collin and Bear, thank you. Well, he's already gone. He's like, I'm out of here. He's got to go feed the dogs or something like that. We will be back here next time. Until then, everybody, remember, slow down and move over. It's the law.